Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com, and this is the chart for the full moon on the 19th of February. It's set for London, it's 15:53, and as usual I am showing you whole signs of the zodiac, but I'm also introducing you to something else this month, and that is the elements, the balance of the elements. And if you look below, you can see in this little diagram down here, there's no air. And this often happens that there's no element particularly shown in astrology. It's not unusual as such, but I do think it's rather important at this time, with so many discussions going on in different parts of the world of great importance. This all changes. I'll just show you the change. Here it is. So by Thursday, we have the moon in Libra. Even so, that's pretty much an unbalanced elemental chart because it's only the moon, and that only lasts for 2.5 days. I'm now going to show you the traditional chart that I normally show you. So here it is, the full moon. What has been going on is very interesting. Since last November, every full moon has been in 0 degrees of the sign. Wow. 0 degrees, of course, is a beginning, a new beginning. And we have at this time, this particular time in the year, we now have, first of all, Chiron. Chiron has changed sign. Here it is at 0 degrees, 4 minutes of arc. And it stays there in the sign of Aries for the next 8 years. 8 years. So Aries is all about being brave, courageous, going head first, the pioneer. So if you are 50 years old, or will be in the next 8 years, you will have what is known as your Chiron return. It's back where it was at your birth. Chiron is a fascinating archetype in astrology. It's the wounded healer, and it's only got a 50-year orbit, so it's relatively fast compared to the big outer planets, such as Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So this is a very important full moon for that very factor of a planet like Chiron. It's actually a centaur, to be technical, but changing sign for a long time. The other planet that I have to mention at this moment of time is Uranus, 29 of Aries, so right at the end of Aries. When Uranus went into Aries 7 years ago, it was the Arab Spring. It was the disaster, the Fukushima, that affected the whole world. That was in Japan. And we have seen, of course, as usual, but we have seen, the Gulf War, all these big major events, all about fighting. On March the 6th, which is actually, as it happens, the day of the new moon in Pisces, we have Uranus changing sign into Taurus for 7 years. It will certainly shake up any of you who have a planet in Taurus. Now, the full moon. Here it is, the sun, 0 degrees of Pisces, 42 minutes. The moon opposite in Virgo, 0 degrees of Virgo, 42. So the sun in Pisces. So for the next 30 days, the sun moves through Pisces as it does every year. And every year, for quite some time now, it will pass over Neptune, now currently going through Pisces. And Neptune is at half the way through Pisces. Also, very important, this particular week, Mercury has literally just passed Neptune. Mercury and Neptune together in Pisces can be incredibly creative. Musical, artistic talents can be here. Very good for meditation and spirituality. But if you want to know the facts of something, you do not really want Mercury in Pisces, especially next to Neptune. The sun is governed traditionally also by Jupiter. Jupiter is in its own sign. This is very important at this time in the world because Jupiter in Sagittarius only occurs every 12 years. Jupiter has moved past the exact square to that Neptune energy, but it's still there, it's still hanging around. So very much, what is truth? Jupiter represents truth and justice, the higher vibration of the law, of searching for something, higher education, culture, expansion, positive things, especially in its own sign of Sagittarius. But there's a tension there with the dreaminess, the illusion of Neptune. You look at movies, you'll see what is going on in the collective in terms of Neptune, hopes, dreams, visions, all of those things. Now, Jupiter, being in its own sign, makes it very strong. So I look at Jupiter and go, yes, there is a strength here for truth to prevail. Going to the opposite, of course, the moon is a full moon. The moon is in Virgo. Its ruler is Mercury. Aha, this is very confusing. So Mercury is weak in Pisces. However, the ruler of Pisces is Jupiter, which is strong. So can you see the conundrum going on here between, what's really going on? It's confusion. We can't see it. The Mercury-Neptune is like a fog or being under the sea. Its scandals can be very Neptunian, just as a thought for you to think about. The moon in Virgo, taking a breath there, is an earth sign. It's very much about healing. All earth sign, that Virgo quality is very healing. And it is, of course, making a very good connection to Mars and Uranus, both. So something unexpected, that's Uranus, can occur in terms of healing at this time. Virgo is in the tarot, it's the Hermit card. Now, showing you the Hermit card, you'll see it's this lonely figure. He's on a mountain top. He's holding a staff, and he's an old man with a beard, and he's looking at the lantern there. So although he's alone in his meditation on the natural world, he can bring enlightenment and openness to the barren reaches of the earth and initiates the journey across the valley of life. I'm quoting from a book by a Tad man called The Elements of the Tarot. So he's saying, and it fits very well, that Virgo is the essence of purity and discrimination. That's a key word. His simplicity is transformed into understanding through maturity. Now, maturity is always to do with Saturn. So although the moon isn't actually closely connected to Saturn, it's still an earth sign, as is Saturn. And look at Saturn here, it's next to Venus. Venus at the moment is in a very awkward sandwich between Saturn and Pluto. Now, there's a lovely affirmation for the Hermit, and that is, I look within for the guidance of my higher self to elevate my moods and direct me to the light. So Tadman is suggesting that you go within at this time with the Virgo energy, the Hermit energy, but also that star is the wisdom from stellar influences. The other interesting fact is that I work with Vedic astrology as well as Western astrology. And in the Vedic system, it's sidereal, to do with the actual constellations, the stars themselves. That moon is actually in the constellation of Leo. And it's in a lunar mansion called Marga. And Marga is the heart of the lion. It's connecting us to the fixed star called Regulus. And it's the mighty one. And it's the Pitris, the guardian angels, that give protection in the event of major calamities on Earth. The guardian angel is, of course, a very powerful connection for all of us to recognize that I believe we all have a guardian angel, a personal one, but they are also the guardian angels of our planet. So the ancestors are speaking to us at this time. The ancestral pride, our personal power. That's, I think, a very positive connection, the deeper connection that's going on here. And to know that that's there. So this feeling of looking within, of meditating, very Piscean. Pisceans, are superb in that. And also, notice the Sun has got a good relationship at this time up there with Mars, recently moved into Taurus. Here it is, Mars. Taurus is an earth sign. Pisces, water sign. Water and earth signs get on very, very well. You just think about, what does the earth need? It needs water, of course. Also, that Sun is making the same connection to Uranus. A sextile is 60 degrees, and it's a talent in a personal birth chart. So the other thing, of course, is the Moon is also connected to Mars and Uranus by a trine, a really powerful energy, that stronger than a sextile. So we have that amazing ability for radical change. Uranus, that's what it means, that's what it represents. Mars, now in the fixed sign of Taurus, it can be stubborn, that's the nature of Mars in Taurus, but also Mars in Taurus is very much about the Earth, about the beauty of our Earth and our planet, about nature itself, the good things in life, food, wine, chocolates, whatever your personal preference is. You might be vegan and be very pure and all that, but it is about enjoying the senses. So here we have, Uranus about to move into Taurus, shifting things for Taurians, changing things dramatically, and that is not far away, March the 6th, as I mentioned. So notice the positives in this particular full moon. We have another full moon in a month's time, and that will be the last of the 0 degrees. If you have a planet at 0 degrees in your chart, it has been activated month after month. It's very unusual for this. So notice, what part of your chart do you have at 0 degrees of Pisces or 0 degrees of Virgo. So please, if you're not already on my mailing list, I'd love you to join my community. It's beautiful people who join me, and I'm teaching astrology. I've got a course at the moment, just about to start a new intermediate course, and there are a few places left. So if you do watch this video in time, it starts on the full moon on Tuesday. So thank you for watching. Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com.